Okay, we have mics. Hey, we have sound. Sorry, I was fixing that. Sorry, you guys. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Linda. Do you guys hear me now? I'm hoping that we just got a little bit of a lag. Hey, Linda. So a little bit different of a setup today, but hey, we're working on it, right? It's been eventful, and you guys, I am so tired from last week's events. Okay, so Brian is getting my second camera set up. We tried to do it a little bit lower, and it didn't like it. The other cameras were fighting for attention, so I'm so sorry. This sounds good. Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys. So, we are going to be painting the Happy Easter from the Dollar Tree sign. What?
I just gotta tighten this down.
Okay. Brian is working. How was the move? The move was eventful. The rental house is starting to, I guess we're starting to get somewhere with it. The basement, I guess the main level, because there is no basement. The main level, we've got a few boxes, but I cleaned up the closet today and we got a shoe rack because I forgot to bring ours. So the new people get a nice new shoe rack. But hey, you know, I felt generous. So anyways, like I said, we've got the Dollar Tree. Hey, Debbie Hawes. Sorry, Brian, I know, is being super loud behind us. He's getting the second camera fixed up. Yes, hubby was very busy. He put together...
Can you see it?
No, we can't see it in frame. Okay, guys.
You gotta kind of direct
I am going to flip overhead for just a second. I'm really sorry to do this on live, but I didn't want you guys to think I forgot. So we're going to go with the overhead. It is not showing overhead. I'm wondering if it's because we closed out, or because it exited out of OBS. Okay, sorry guys. We're going to just use this camera, I guess, for today. I'm really sorry. Yeah, he did really good. He got all of our bedroom set pretty much put together, just besides the nightstands that we ordered. So I was really happy with that. So yeah, he did good. So with these Dollar Tree signs, I'm just going to untie. Let me move this down. Whoa. Sorry, guys. Sorry, you're going to see a little bit of my screen. Let's see. There we go. Forgive me. First day jitter setups. Yeah, so Brian did really good. Got a lot done, especially for, you know, single parenting it. Alright, so second camera is not working, so we're just going to do this tonight. But you guys all get the gist, right? So once again, the Dollar Tree sign that we've got, I just took off the little burlap part of it. Let me make sure everything's going. You're headed to work, Teresa? I have been exhausted today. I don't know about you all, but oh my goodness, I've been so tired. Okay. Let me move this just a little bit closer. No. Okay. So I was thinking we would do some Easter colors and make this super colorful. I'm thinking bunny. We'll probably just do white, and then we'll do a little glitter toe, maybe gray little paws. So we'll pull out the gray, yellow. We'll do some yellow. We'll do some pink, That's Lisa Pink. And let's do some cute blue. This is called Paradise Blue. I've really started liking that one a lot. You know me, we gotta get some GP purple. And let's do, should we do some gecko? Some gecko green we'll do. And I got purple. Okay. So I got kind of all of the Eastery colors. Hey Jennifer, how are you? Okay. Let me grab one of these and we shall get started. So white paint. Oh no. Yeah, it sounds like it will be a light and a long night for you, Teresa. Okay, so I'm just doing 1/2 inch angle brush. We are gonna go ahead and just paint our little bunny white. And this white is just the apple barrel paint. I'm not gonna really worry about the edges too much with this one because the Dollar Tree ones are so thin that you're not gonna see the runoff as much. Pretty much because your paintbrush will paint over it anyways. Now remember, when you're painting these Dollar Tree ones, you do not want to put these ones out in the weather because they are gonna warp. I mean, it's raised right now. If you guys can see that, whoop, if you guys can see that, it's warped. And it was laying flat on top of other signs while we transported it here. So we were busy those first 4 days before I left to go to Nashville for the retreat. We stayed pretty busy and got quite a bit done. Brian got a lot done. The girls broke down tons of boxes, so that was nice to not come home to broken box craziness. Okay, so we're gonna leave that for just now. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and do the yellow next. And then we're gonna go and do different little designs and swirlies or swishes or whatever. So this yellow is crocus yellow. And you know me guys, I ended up getting way too much yellow. But hey, it's all good. All right, so what I'm gonna do real quick, just to kind of give us an idea of how we want this, is I think the H would be really cute to have it kind of come down a little bit into the E. We'll have the A kind of pop out over the H right here. Oh, sorry guys, dogs are barking. So you're just going to kind of lightly stencil, and then this will erase a little bit. We're going to make the S be bigger on this side. So we're just going to kind of pretend like we're writing it ourselves. Get that one. I think the S will be cute to kind of really be the bold one. So we'll let this one be nice and bold here, and also overlap on the E here. So basically all we're doing is just kind of giving ourselves a little pattern for what we're writing. And then the T, we'll let the T kind of bump out on the E a little bit. And then for the E, we'll let the E kind of pop out over the R, like so. And I think the Y will have the Y kind of slip out here. So if you do this kind of ahead of time, it really helps give you an idea of how you want everything to lay out. Okay, so I hope you guys can see that now. I drew that in so you can kind of see your lines a little bit better. Oh, I forgot the P. We will have, let's have the P go straight down here. Like so. There we go. Okay, now we'll get the yellow going here. So I think we'll do the H yellow. And we're just going to run the paint up. So we're loading the brush and pulling it. Hey Dawn, how are you, honey? Dawn was my partner in crime of talking, so we didn't fall asleep driving home. I'm glad you made it home in one night. I know that you were thinking you might have to stop, but I'm sure it was nice to get home. And this yellow paint is a really nice one. Most of the time with this one, the crocus yellow, it's a one and done kind of thing. Another thing that I want to tell you guys, because I was noticing it a little bit when we were doing the paint class, is just do thin paint lines. You don't want to see a glop of paint. You want it nice and smooth. If you have the paint built up a lot, it's going to take a lot longer to dry, or it may not dry at all. I don't blame you. I would have wanted my own bed too. So we're going to do yellow here. I think purple would be cute on this one. We'll do green here, blue there, pink there, and then I think I'm going to mess up the pattern a little bit, and because I don't want yellow and yellow, so I think I'm going to put the yellow right here. Kind of throw it off just a little. So we're going to do a yellow S. So if you saw, I just kind of slowly curve that down. You are more than welcome. Teresa, did you make it home in one night too? Oh yeah, you did. I saw that you were on live a little bit later. You guys, I got home and I passed out. I was so tired. I did stop at the building house. I don't know how would I call that? How am I going to call? Because I called this one the rental, and then the other one I've been calling it our house, you know, the house being built. So the house being built, I wanted to stop by because I don't know if you saw Brian's pictures that he tagged me in, but they have completely framed it. We have all the framing done, so I wanted to go check it out. So I was super excited. Hey, ladies. Ooh, got all the ribbon listed. Look at you go, Miss Fancy Pants. I am going to actually do this one more time because I can see a couple of little splotches on this one that I want to get covered. Teresa, you were on it, girlfriend. All right. Okay, so yellow, we are going to be done with yellow. Throw this yellow in here. Okay, throw that in there. Okay. Next one, I'm going to skip this one just because we've got some wet paint going on. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the blue next. And you even delivered a wreath. Look at you go. I was just proud of myself because I woke up at like 6 to take Haley Joe to school. 6:30. I pushed the limits, but Haley started school today, my youngest. She started school today. Briley will start tomorrow. The junior high didn't get her information processed as fast as they did for Haley, so Briley will start tomorrow. She's excited, nervous. So we'll see. Okay, so P is going to go next. We're going to be just a little bit careful because I did, of course, choose right here where the S is that we just painted. So all I'm doing is just taking that tip of my angle brush and just barely touching to get that line that we need. And then, like I said, once you kind of get that difficult area, you can go super, super happy. Oh, I didn't get this P right here. And we'll let this P pop out just a little bit. So we'll draw this one in. And I think this one, we'll let the Y pop out fully. There we go. So by doing those lines, it really does help you kind of control where you're going to paint a lot. I mean, like I said, I just did it completely random. You could have had the two P's pop out and then tuck the Y underneath. There's no rules in this. Just do what's making you have fun. These colors are some of my favorites. A, because it's kind of the one and done type of paint. And then I did get asked a lot with the retreat about the paint that I use. So I will show you guys that bottle again. This is my favorite one that I use. It's Delta Ceramic Coat. That is my favorite paint. It's just a nice smooth paint and it's thicker. So I feel like it works a little bit better. It's not usually watered down or anything like that. So I kind of tend to stick to the one I love. I think I'm gonna go with the E right here and paint this one blue. This paint's looking a little bit dry, so even though it is looking pretty good, we're gonna just be a little careful. And all I'm doing is just using the little edge of my angle brush to get that edge that we want. And then once we've got that, then you can go crazy, just like in the coloring books when we were little and just kind of scribbled all over the place because we got the nice edge. Same thing here. Hey Sherry, how are you? I'm just catching up on what's... Oh, you chatted with Susan? I love when Susan hops on. Jennifer, that is totally how my kids were. So we haven't... Oop, that was Brian. Bless you, Brian. The girls had started going back a little bit to school when we were in Illinois, just out of Chicago. And they had started going back on Martin Luther King, just right after Martin Luther King Day. They were going every other day and then rotating on their Fridays. And it was eventful, none the least. But they were totally ready to. Here, Briley will be doing 4 days, I believe, and Haley goes all 5. So I'm really excited for her because she has been begging to go back to real school, is what she calls it, real school. So I'm happy for her because she's been struggling. Her first day, she was so excited. She's in an all-girl class. There's no boys in the class. It's kind of funny. They said they just have a lot of girls. So her teacher teaches half virtual, half the other, and so they get to do a lot of specials and stuff like that. So when they're doing specials, the teacher her teacher will hop on and do the virtual stuff. So Haley said that she had a great first day and she was super excited about everything and was excited to go back. So I'm glad it was a good day for her because she was so nervous last night. She actually kind of kept me up as much as I was trying to pass out. She was needing those extra cuddles and loves, and she kept telling me that she was afraid that the boys would tease her. So it was kind of nice, kind of funny that she ends up being in a class where there's no boys. Okay, so as you guys can see, I did the blue in 3 different spots. I'm trying to follow the pattern, but I wanted to shift it just a little bit so that it wasn't, the yellows were lining up together. And you know what? I'm going to do this one more time. I can just see the wood grain popping through just a little bit. I'm not in love with that. So we're just going to put one more thin coat of blue right over. Another thing that I like about the Delta paint is it does dry really fast. We were struggling at the retreat with this paint that we got. It had a great review. So me and Laura were like, yeah, we'll try it. And let's just put it this way. We're not trying it again. It took a long time to dry. That was for sure. It was pretty nice though for me and Brian's sake with the girls with school is they were on spring break last week. So with me going to the retreat and everything else, I'm sure Brian was more than happy that they were home and he wasn't having to do that, because we asked for the variance so that the girls could go to the same school once the house is done being built that they would have now. So makes it a little bit harder on us because we do have to drive them, but you know, I would rather them have that and get settled in with their school and you know, all of that kind of stuff than learn another school, yet another school. Okay, so blue, like I said, this was called Paradise Blue. I do believe this one I did pick up at Walmart, or not Walmart, Target. Target carries the Delta, Joann's does, and Hobby Lobby. Michael's, however, does not. And then the yellow was Crocus Yellow, just FYI. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and go with our pink. And this is Lisa Pink. It's one of my favorite colors of pink. This one can be a little bit harder to find. Okay, I'm just cleaning out my brush real quick, guys. So how many of you guys did end up finding this sign from the dollar store? Hold on, I can see we've got an eraser here. There we go. Alright. Is it not scrolling? Okay, it is. Alright. Well, Brian, you threatened them good. They're all quiet. So you guys, I did have to set up in the, what would have been the dining room area is where I set up. So hopefully this will stay nice and we don't have lots of loudness going on. Okay. Let's see. Nope. How was I going to do this? I I think I'm gonna go right here. You wish you did? Oh darn it, I bet you could find it still. Okay guys, so I'm just going nice and smooth right here, getting that T. Oops, we messed up right here. Just grab a little baby wipe. I popped a little bit of color right over here on this E. Okay, let me grab a baby wipe, maybe. Brian, do you know where my baby wipes are? Oh, you know what? In that Easter box that I had, I think we have the leftover wipes from the retreat. Yep. Found them!
Found for you.
Yeah, you totally found them. Okay, so baby wipe right here. Okay. Holding the brush in the mouth. You guys, you don't know how bad at the retreat I kept having Sharpies. And I kept catching myself almost putting them in my mouth. I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, it's a bad habit to be in. Okay, let me just throw a little more paint on this one. We are going to just throw a little bit. I think I might actually do blush on the bunny's ears to make it nice and smooth. And that blush, you guys, that I use, I got it from the dollar store. It's that LA Colors blush, and it's just a bright pink. I'll show it to you guys in just one sec. Because I think we'll do his little nose and then his little feet, and then we'll do his toe with glitter just to give it extra pop. Hubby was excited about the signs I sold, and guess what, you guys? He was good about boots. I was like, so I kind of did something stupid, but about boots, and he was like, it's your money. So, yay, whew. I know, I dodged a bullet. He still said I was stupid, though. I don't think I was stupid. Those boots were rocking. Yes, you guys, I was so excited. I needed some major room. I was getting lots of stock in those signs, so we needed to clean up a little bit. Okay, next one I'm going to do is purple. And you guys, I've still just been using that 1/2 inch. Actually, before I do purple, I'm going to go over one more time with the white on this bunny. Hi, Johnny. How are you? Have you recovered from the retreat? Because I sure haven't. I'm just going to throw some white right here on this guy. I can see the green popping through just a little. Somebody did ask me what I would suggest for the Dollar Tree signs if you were wanting to use them for outside. And I would definitely get 2 of them and glue them together. That's going to make it a little bit thicker, stronger, so there wouldn't be as much warp problems per se. So just a little FYI on that. Yes, he was happy, and he was like, good. And he was like, we could not believe how many boxes I had. It was ridiculous. other than my suitcase. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Let's move this because my arm is gonna hit that white paint. We're gonna get the A next. And this purple is called GP purple. Brian, do you want to check the dogs? So the dining room in the rental is right out, like the door is right next to me to go outside. So that's why we're hearing the dogs just a little bit. So hopefully it's not super loud. A lot better than her barking down in the basement, right? And ripping her eardrums off. Okay. A little bit of clump of paint there. Just going straight across, like so. And I love this purple because it really is a one and done. Really, most of the paint colors that I chose tonight are that one and done kind of color. Okay, I think we're gonna go with the R on this one and leave this A as a green. I wonder if the neighbor's dog's out.
No, the market's in the creek.
Oh, probably a bunny. My dogs want those bunnies so bad. Tell them to get the bunnies. The Easter bunny ain't coming, right?
No.
I shouldn't say that because when one of them does, then we're going to be in trouble. Then the girls are going to think they're in trouble. I'd rather hate the joke, but anyways.
No, stay.
All right. So just getting this purple. Whew. I am clumping on the edges on this one. Okay, so same thing with this bunny hand real quick. We're just going to take the edge of the brush and just go around like so. So this is just giving us a nice base, and then we can add some fun to all of this. Get us some extra little cute designs going on and really make it fun. So we could stop here and this would be totally cute. For a beginner, just to outline the lines a little bit that we had already done and let that be the end of it. But I'm gonna go a little bit further in and show you a couple of other little steps that you can do that will make it pop a little more. Okay, so green is next. This is called Gecko. Just cleaning the brush. All right, make sure it's nice and clean. Okay. Green here we come. Okay. So we're going to just take our edge, get a nice smooth line there. Do a nice smooth line right here with the T. You can smooth that out. Okay. Now a lot of the time with your greens, you will need a second coat. It sometimes will pull a little bit splotchy, but still just wait for it to dry. The biggest problem that you'll do is not let it dry completely and then paint over it, and then you're gonna pull your paint up and you're just gonna keep getting more and more splotch. So just let it dry completely, then add your next coat. If you don't, you'll run into a lot of problems where it just doesn't look smooth and the colors are a little bit off and everything else. Okay, same thing here. We're going to clean up this A. Smooth that out. Go where that E is. And we can smooth that out. All right. Okay, so we got all of the colors done. I'm really loving how that turned out. What do you guys think? You guys liking that? Okay, so one thing that you can do is you can darken your colors, or you can lighten it by just adding some white, and that will lighten it out too. Or you can just grab lighter colors. So we might do both, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so for the yellow, I think I'm actually going to use a darker color for the yellow. And I'm going to use just yellow itself. Let me grab a foam plate real quick. I like to use the foam plates instead of, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Nancy. I like to use the foam plates to hold my paint, or plastic, because paper will absorb the paint and make it dry a little bit fast, or a little bit too soon. Let me see, I was gonna grab a dauber for you guys so we can practice daubers again. Oh my gosh, my hands don't want to hold on to things. Okay. Okay. So I've got our little dauber here. I did just get it a little bit wet. Help it out just a little bit. It was a little misshapen, so I'm just kind of forming it out. By getting it wet, it does help a little bit with keeping the form. So I just loaded it. So if you guys can see, it has a nice glob of yellow. We're going to smooth it around, but there's still, as you can see, it's kind of gloppy. We'll kind of roll those edges. Do it one more time, and then I'm going to use the edge of the plate and just smooth it off so we get a nice smooth amount on there. And then we're going to push down and then twist just a little bit. And basically, when you're doing polka dots, you kind of just want to make little triangles. That's kind of what helps. So like this one, the other little triangle would be here. These two, it'd be kind of right here. So we don't need anything right here. These ones, we could probably go right there. Just get a little offset of one from this area of a triangle, or from polka dots. We'll go right here. Looks like we're gonna need to load it just a little bit. And what we're doing, which is adding the patterns and stuff, is just giving a little more detail and fun to our project. This is not something that you have to do, but I thought it would be something fun and make our project just a little extra. And then, because we're gonna run into this, this is one of my secrets that I like to use, is I just get a Post-it note. If you can get the ones that have shapes too, those help a lot too. You can use the Post-it note sticky side too, but where we had just painted there, I don't want to use too much of it, so I just lined up my paper, and then you can see that it made a nice line there for that. We're going to go ahead and do that again with the S. Go right there. And I'm not using the dauber and going back and forth with the paint. You could if you wanted to, but I feel like there's enough on there that I didn't need to. And then what I also do with my paint, once I'm done with the dauber, if you're wanting to save them, reminds you of jelly beans? Yes, exactly. It's kind of what I was going for. And then I just leave the dauber in the water. And so we are done. Now, when you use daubers, you'll see that it leaves kind of a texture. I hope you guys can kind of see those little bubbles. I'm shaking a little, probably too much, but you can see that if you let it go, it levels itself out for the most part. It's gonna have a little bit of a texture, but I kind of think it's cute. So I just let it go. I don't really try and clean it up too much. I have before, if my circles do get just a little bit off, you can go in with a brush. I think this one got just a little bit off. And you can just do a little circular pattern there and clean those up just a little bit. But the daubers do give you an excellent little template to go off of. If you were wanting to make even smaller ones, just using the back of your brush or a bigger brush would give you the same effect. Okay, so we're gonna let the yellow, I think for the blue, we might go with an even lighter color for that one. This is called Sea Foam. For this one, I think it would be cute to do little swirlies. So I'm just getting my liner brush. It's a 0 liner brush. And what I'm going to do is just create little swirlies. Okay. Just kind of all over. Still kind of trying to do the triangle effect a little bit, just so I have a kind of a template idea of where I would put these. I'll show you on this P what I'm talking about. Oops. I'm sorry, you guys, that my camera's a little off tonight, but you can kind of see that with the little swirlies there. Hi, Mel. How are you, sweetie? How was your guys' drive? Okay, and then one more here on this E. Hey, Ladybug. The first day schooler is here in the building. Did I get some rest? I tried. I'm still just exhausted today. And I've taken long naps. Okay, so we got the sea foam for the blues. And then we got the yellows done. You throw those there. I think for the pink, I'm not sure what I want to do with the pink yet. Let's do green because I know what I want to do with that one. Okay, so the green that I'm going to use, it's called Palomino. I am just going to put this right on the foam plate here. Not too much needed. And then I am just going to grab a straight brush. I think that one's going to be too big. No, I think I'm going to, what's this one? So this one is a tin flat brush. You guys can see that? Okay. I am just going to get it a little bit wet just to kind of get a nice form to it. We're going to load it. Okay, so I'm going to just go straight across. We're going to kind of visualize where we need to go. And just go straight across, making little lines. That one, so that right here. Haley, can you take that upstairs, please?
Okay.
Thank you. We're going to be going to eat in just a little bit, okay? I know, honey. Okay. All right, so there, and one more. And this stripe we're just going to run straight off. Same thing with the A right here. I'm going to play it easy and just go right below where that first letter was. Same thing again. Okay. Right here, we'll go one more time. And I think we'll call that good. However, we're getting into a little bit more of a dangerous territory, so I'm going to change my brush just so I'm using the edge and kind of doing a little bit of a sweeping motion, and that's going to help with that stripe right there of just getting that cleaned up. And I think we need one more right here. Okay, so you can kind of see now what we've got going on. Nice and subtle, but really fun. We're getting it nice and whimsy. Yes, Mel, how is your leg from that awful bug bite? Oh, that's so good that the swellings went down. I can't believe how many times that thing bit you all in one spot. I sure didn't like it like you that day, did it? Or I thought you were rather tasty, because maybe it did like you. Okay, I'm thinking for the pink, it might be fun to go bright with the pink. So I'm gonna go with Pretty Pink. It's a really bright one. But it does kind of remind me of those bright jelly beans. And for that one, I am going to show you what using the back of the brush looks like. Let me get one size that I kind of like. I kind of like this size. No, I don't. I changed my mind already. Yeah, I like this size a little bit more for the back of the brush. So what I'm going to do is kind of do a little bit of clusters with this one. So we're going to do kind of almost like we're doing little berries. And you can come up with any pattern that you want. This one we could have done a check with, and that would have been really cute to do as well. I'm thinking I might add glitter onto the purple along with the little bunny tail, just to give it some extra pop, because you guys know me, I love to give that bling. So you can see what just using the back of your brush kind of does. It gives a little bit of fun. Bless you. So you can see that. And all we're doing is just adding some fun to our project. We could have stopped with just doing the color, and that would have been totally fine. I think it would have looked really cute there. I just wanted to show you guys what adding a little extra steps can do. Bring a little more fun into your project and design. And then just remember this, you guys, this came from the dollar store, so pick up dollar store signs, have fun, play with the paint. It only costs you $1 to learn, right? And then your paint. So if you're interested, this would be a great way to start out if you're not wanting to spend a ton of money. I get my brushes at Walmart in a big kit. I found the the kids brushes this weekend, and I really liked them. I forgot my brushes here when I left, and so I had to run and grab some brushes just to help with painting for the live, or for the retreat. I wanted a couple of nice brushes to go with, and I really liked those, and I think the big package was like $7.50, so not bad at all for a huge package of brushes to get you started. Like I said, I think I'm gonna leave the purple alone, and we'll put some glitter on that. So we're gonna use the gray. I'm going to use, never mind, I am almost completely out of this drizzle gray. So we're gonna make a lighter shade. We're gonna make drizzle gray, because I think this rain gray is gonna be too dark for what I'm going with. So what we'll do is we'll just add a little bit of gray here. I already have my white already out. So we're just gonna grab a little bit of white here, and we'll use the back of the brush, mix that up. Okay, we're gonna have to grab a little bit more white. Well, thanks, Johnny, for still joining. I appreciate it. And have fun on your life. Okay. We are almost done here. Let me grab that small little angle brush real quick here. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just do a quick little sketch of how I want his little foot to kind of come down here. Ooh, I need to be careful. I almost ruined my dots there. All right. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Okay, we're gonna get his little button nose right here, like so. And then I'm also going to grab the blush. So I've got a couple of different ones. I really like this brighter pink one. This one's called Sweet Cheeks. This is the LA color. Like I said, it came from the dollar store. Back to work, rather be crafting. I do not blame you. Stephanie, you were so fun to meet. I was so excited to meet you. All right, so I'm just kind of going with these bunny ears like so. I'm just giving a slight little bit to the bunny ears. Just a slight blush to it. This is a cheater way of doing it, but I like it. It's easy to do. And then honestly, I think I'm going to give our little bunny an eye because he's just looking weird without one, in my opinion. So we'll give him a cute little eye right there. And I just use the back of the brush for that, you guys. And then we'll get the liner brush real quick. And just add a little cute tail there. I'm going to grab our black now and we'll do the outlining. Now, if you're not feeling comfortable with doing outlining with the liner brush, you can use those paint pens, guys. They work great. When I first started out, I was super intimidated with the liner brushes. So I went ahead and used the markers until I felt a little more comfortable. So all I'm doing is just taking the liner brush, kind of just creating basically the lines that would be on your coloring book. I'm adding them back in. And what this does is just really makes your project pop. Gives it a little more dimension and everything else. And then I also don't go straight to the edge. Of my project, I kind of let it go a little bit further out, and that also helps a little bit with giving that dimension and everything else. Trying to be careful because I know this gray is still just a little bit wet. All right, so if you can see with that bunny, it really helped that bunny pop out a lot more than just the kind of the white blob that we had kind of going on there. It will also hide those boo-boos where you may have went a little bit further off out of line. You can hide that with doing your line work, your detail lining. It helps a lot. Now, if you're not a big fan of glitter, you do not have to go to that next step with the glitter. However, for me, I love to glam them up. I love to get Brian to cringe when I say, I'm using glitter. So just taking that liner brush, like I said, going through, adding our lines. You don't have to be right on the edge because it gives the project just a little more dimension when you don't. So if you can see right here, we had a little bit of yellow from that polka dot popping through. So I just kind of went a little bit thicker with my line right there, and we hit it. And nobody's gonna know. Like that TikTok, nobody's gonna know. There we go. I must be missing a comment because all I just saw was medium from Susan. I'm like, what? Oh, it's responding to now. Okay. Okay, almost done here. So when you're also using the liner brush, you don't want to push down really heavy. You're barely letting the tip of the brush go across your project. All right. Let me get these last letters here on this bottom row. I don't blame you, Susan. I was exhausted too. Brian's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I am so tired. It took everything in me to get up and take Kaylee to school this morning. Plus they want her there at like the butt crack of dawn, so you know that doesn't help either. We had to get up at like 6:30 just to be to school at 7:20, right, Bray? Yeah, 7:20. Ugh. Right? I don't blame you, Mel. Okay, so we got the black done. If you can see, it really makes that pop. But we're gonna go one step further, do the white with the highlighting real quick, and then that will seriously give it that extra fun. So I'm just going to add a couple of little swishies. To our polka dots. And with the highlighting, I'm just barely letting the brush touch. If it doesn't touch in certain areas, that's okay. That didn't touch at all. All right. And then just throwing a little bit of highlight on those stripes. Same thing here. Bless you. Brian's got some serious allergies. I'm sure it's going to even get worse. It was so nice though. I came home and the daffodils and the rentals are all popped up. I shouldn't say all of them, but quite a few of them have bloomed. The trees and everything were, I'm like, it's spring. Back in Chicago, they had snow today. My neighbor sent me a picture and she's like, look what you're missing. Don't you want to move back? I started laughing. It was so funny. No, thank you. We did get rain today. Looks so pretty. You like it, Mom? Okay, so there it is. Now, we could stop there, but we know me. I'm not going to. We're going to throw just a little bit of glitter. And I guess I must be off my game tonight. I did like no little swishies. You got to add some. Because that's just not me. Gotta add some personality in here. You can tell I'm a little tired. I love adding the swishies. For me, it just gives the project just a little more fun. That's why I do it. You don't have to. I know some people add little polka dots or, you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy. I just like adding them slushies. Okay, let me grab the clear and the purple glitter here. I'm gonna stand up for this. Now guys, I just get the glitter from, I either have gotten it from Lisa with 3 glitter chicks, or Walmart and Michael's have these. Pretty much all of the craft stores have those little glitter. It's just fine glitter. You're either going to want to use parchment paper. Do not use wax paper because it sticks to glitter. It won't go back in. So don't do that. And let me grab some Mod Podge here. I'm just going to use my cap because we're not using that much. Make sure you use a brush when you're using the Mod Podge that is either one that you don't really care if it gets ruined, or one of your ones that's already kind of beat up and you can't get the bristles back because you're basically using glue and it's not going to come out of your bristles very easily. Okay, so we got a little bit of glam on his tail. I figured just a little bit on his toe wasn't going to be enough. So we're gonna go a little bit further and go with the purple. Can you check and see what they're barking at, babe? We did a makeshift fence back here, so I'm a little bit more afraid of them running around. I'm afraid that they'll break through that fence. Okay. And I know we can't see our details, but I promise when we'll go back through and clean that up, and we'll shoot again. Casey, I completely understand, man. I'm glad I'm not the only one in this. I was like, I am so tired. I was telling Brandon, like, I don't know what is wrong with me. I am exhausted. I partied and played too hard. Okay. Okay. There's that. Throw that brush in there. Okay. So what we're gonna do so that we get our detail lines back, you can either use the edge of your brush, or I get my little embossing scrolling tool and I kind of just scratch where I know the lines are, and it brings everything back out. And then it's a little bit harder on camera to see it, but you can see now that it's popped through. I'll show you with the R again. Now, not all of the glitter is going to cover like this, that you're going to have to do this on every single one of them. It's just more of your darker shades that you'll want to put, you know, kind of clean up your lines a little bit. Okay, so you can see again how the R has lines back, and we are done, you guys, with our dollar store sign. Yes, Casey's got it right, R-O-X-Y. Yep, Roxy. Roxy's the stripper name. Yes, with the Y. Casey, you're on it, girl. Yeah, I have to say I'm glad that Haley was in school today. And Briley was kicking it, man. She was doing laundry for me. She must want some. I know what she wants. Now I got thinking about it. I know what she wants. So let me move you guys up. I'm so sorry, you guys, that my overhead wasn't playing nice. I promise you I'll get it working. But thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. You guys love it? Good, I'm so glad you guys like it. Yes, I really do like how it turned out. And then just going that extra little bit, throwing, you know, some extra lines and stuff, I think it really made the project. But just, you can leave it plain too. And I still think it would be really cute. So cute. Okay, thank you guys. Sorry it took a little bit later, but I will see you all tomorrow, because I'm doing Cricut tomorrow. Yay! You guys get a lot of me this week. All right, bye guys.